Hi, good morning. My name's Eric Hatchett. I was asked to give the stewardship talk for this week since this is the season of stewardship. My wife is Jen. She's the senior warden. And we have a son, Quentin, who's in 11th grade. We've been coming to St. Philip's since January of 2017, which coincides with Father Eric's first Sunday. So we've all heard fantastic stewardship stories over the years. I looked up the definition of stewardship to make sure that I followed in those footsteps. The definition, the responsible overseeing and protection of something considered worth caring for and preserving. I think we'd all agree St. Philip's falls into that category. It's not just about giving money, but that is the most tangible way to ensure St. Philip's takes care of the congregation, not only in the present, but also in the future as well. In the fall of 2021, my parents passed away within a few weeks of each other. A lot of people from St. Philip's sent cards and notes and well wishes. I had people ask me, why would I go to a church after suffering loss so close together? My only thought was St. Philip's is the one place that I needed to be after suffering those losses. We were just getting back to coming in person, and it was a little awkward. People weren't hugging each other or shaking hands. I don't know if you remember that from a couple years ago. But as soon as I walked through those doors, I felt everyone's hugs and support. So I knew I was in the right place. It reminded me of a story. Father Eric has told this story. He tells it more as a joke. I'm glad he's not here to correct me. So when I first heard this story, it was at a small Methodist church in Kansas. I was in my early 20s, and I was at a low point in my life, and I took a bit more serious meaning from the story than Father Eric does. But the story goes, there's a man, and it's raining, and the weather calls for a flood, so his neighbor drives by in a car and says, why don't you come with me, and we'll evacuate. The man says, no, I have ultimate faith the Lord will protect me. Well, the floodwaters start to rise, and then another neighbor comes by in a boat and says, we really need to evacuate. And he says, no need, the Lord will protect me. Finally, he's on the roof of his house, and a helicopter comes by and drops the ladder and says, this is it, we need to go. And he says, no, the Lord will provide. Well, unfortunately, the water sweeps over him, and he gets to meet God very shortly after. And he says to God, I was your faithful servant, why did you not protect me? And God said, I tried. I sent a car, a boat, and a helicopter. When I first heard that story, I found great solace in it because I realized God would protect me through other people. But as I've grown up, or at least grown older, I've realized that I need to be the one driving the car and piloting the boat and possibly the helicopter, not out of a sense of obligation, but out of a sense of thankfulness for what the Lord has provided through opportunities and resources. A coworker once told me that he believes you can't be a Christian on an island. My first thought was, if I was stranded on an island, I'd pray to God every day to rescue me. But what he really meant was you can't be a Christian on an emotional island, that you have to interact with the world around us and share God's gifts. We all have a lot of great outreach that the church provides: neighborhood house, corner laundry, Red Cross blood drive, Lighthouse, Vacation Bible School, just to name a few. Our building also hosts multiple scout troops and multiple 12-step programs, but we also provide tremendous in-reach as well through fellowship, ECW, the men's group, Friendsgiving, Sunday school, coffee hour, just to name a few. Thinking back when I was going to prepare this, I thought, how many times over the years that I've said to someone outside of St. Philip's, well, someone at church told me this story, or my priest told me this, and it just shows what a tremendous place this is for us to meet in person. When we started coming back in person, I think we all agree we missed being in person quite a bit, and even our teenage son admitted that he missed coming to church. So, not every week, of course, but, Recently, we've been instructed to render to Caesar what is Caesar's, but we also must render to consumers' energy what is consumers' energy. I know supporting the church to pay the natural gas bill isn't exciting, but it is definitely needed. My idea of wearing your favorite winter coat in church throughout the Lenten season to save on heating hasn't quite made the program yet, but I'll talk to Father John about that again this year. But there are many ways to support our church, and financial support is certainly a necessary part to continue to do the good work that we do. And together we can continue to be motivated to drive that car, listen when the Holy Spirit calls us to pilot the boat, and even figure out how to fly a helicopter together.